Bitchin' Kitten Brewery, where the beer flows and the kitty decouperes. Yo, check it out, my feline-loving beer enthusiasts. If you're looking for a joint where the suds are cold, the grub is hot, and the bathroom sign asks you if you're pooping, look no further than Bitchin' Kitten Brewery in Trenton. First off, let's talk about the beer. They've got a crazy selection of brews on tap and in cans. And let me tell y'all, they're not stingy with their samples. You can get a flight with 7 different beers, and if you're feeling froggy, you can try all 9. Just be warned, that chocolate cherry stout called Kate Sid is like liquid crack. 1 sip and you'll be chasing that kitty all night. Now, on to the food. I know what you're thinking, beer and food. That's like a match made in heaven. Well, you're not wrong. Their pretzels are deep fried to perfection and smothered in a beer cheese that'll put hair on your chest. And those onion rings. Battered and fried like a pro. Crisp on the outside, fluffy on the inside. But wait, there's more. They've got burgers that'll make your jaw drop. I'm talking juicy patties stacked with cheddar and bacon jam. And their wings. Brined and fried to the size of a small bat. Just be sure to ask for extra spice on the general so. That stuff will make your taste buds sing the blues. And if you're feeling adventurous, try their beef birria tacos. The consomme is a little tomato heavy, but the tacos have a nice crunch to them. Just be sure to order extra cheese. They're a little stingy with that. Now about that bathroom sign. Let's just say it's not for the faint of heart. If you're one of those people who gets offended by bathroom humor, you might want to hold it until you get home. But hey, at least it's got a cat on it. Overall, Bitchin' Kitten Brewery is a perfect spot to enjoy some cold ones and some tasty grub. Just be sure to wear comfortable shoes because you're gonna be dancing all night after that Kate Sid. Peace out, my fellow beer-loving catnip connoisseurs. Yo. Listen up, foodies. If you're looking for the real holy cannoli moment, check out Villaggio Cara in Trenton, baby. This joint is like a VIP section for Italian food. The service is tighter than a disco suit, with waiters and waitresses grooving around with smiles brighter than the lights on Times Square. They're so happy to be there, it's like they just won the lottery. The food is straight up out of Flavor Town. They got portions that'll make your stomach do the Macarena, and the quality is off the hook. The mussels are so juicy, they'll have you acting like a crab eating a boat. Their Salamino pizza is a work of art. Thin, crispy crust, spicy pepperoni that'll wake you up better than a bucket of ice water, fresh arugula that makes you feel like you're chillin' in a garden, and ricotta that's so creamy, it'll make you forget all about your ex. Don't even get me started on the bolognese. It's like a love letter to your taste buds. Rich, flavorful, and so satisfying, it'll make you forget your troubles faster than a comedian on a roll. Now, hold your horses there, salt lickers. The Marsola and Polo Vincenzo had a little too much shake and bake action going on, but hey, even the flist rappers have a few stinkers in their catalog. But don't let that minor setback throw you off. The owner of this joint is like a proud parent, walking around and making sure everything is running smoother than a Barry White record. And get this, kids, it's a BYOB spot. So bring your own bubbly and let the good times flow. Overall, Villaggio Cara is like the Italian equivalent of Eddie Murphy, funny, charming, and knows how to deliver the goods. So if you're hungry for some serious culinary comedy, do yourself a favor and hit this place up, baby. Bordentown Square Tap Grill, where the food is sublime and the beer taps are crying out for mercy. Step into Bordentown Square Tap Grill, folks. This place is a culinary oasis with an atmosphere that'll make you forget you're not at a fancy resort. It's like walking into a warm, inviting hug that smells like freshly brewed beer and mouth-watering food. Start off with the legendary New England clam chowder, a guilt-free pleasure that'll make you question how you ever survived without it. Their fish chips. It's the ocean on a plate, fried to perfection and bursting with flavor. And let's not forget the blueberry cobbler, a masterpiece that'll have you questioning your life choices. It's like a warm blanket on a cold night, only made of sugary goodness. But wait, there's more. Their tap wall is like a playground for adults. You hand over your credit card, they give you a magic card that unlocks a world of boozy delights. You can pour your own beers and wines, and watch the numbers on your tab dance like a chorus line. It's a bit like gambling, only you're winning every time. Now, let's talk about the staff. They're the kind of people who make you feel like you're part of the family, except they also serve you amazing food and drinks. They'll go above and beyond to make sure your experience is perfect, even if it means sacrificing their own sanity. Oh, and did I mention the prices? They're so reasonable, you'll feel guilty for spending so little. It's like a financial therapy session disguised as a culinary adventure. So, my fellow food and drink enthusiasts, if you're looking for a place where the food is exceptional, the atmosphere is superb, and the beer is flowing freely, look no further than Bordentown Square Tap Grill. Just be prepared to tap your credit card like a maniac and leave with a satisfied belly and a slightly lighter wallet. Cheers. 1911 Smokehouse Barbecue, where the ribs dance on your taste buds and the sides steal the show. Picture this, you walk into this tiny joint, like a sardine in a can with a karaoke soundtrack blaring. But hey, who needs elbow room when you've got mouth-watering food? I ordered the half rack of ribs, and let me tell you, they were so tender and juicy, they melted in my mouth like a politician's promise. And that flavor. Oh my, it's like they rubbed those ribs with a unicorn's horn and sprinkled them with pixie dust. I'm not kidding. I didn't even need sauce. I mean, who needs condiments when your food tastes like heaven? But the real stars of the show were the sides. The baked beans were like a sweet and savory symphony in my mouth. They're the kind of beans that make you forget about your troubles and make you want to do a happy dance. And the mac and cheese. Oh boy, it was like a warm, cheesy hug that made me want to curl up on the couch and watch reruns of Friends. The collard greens impressed me, too. They had just the right amount of bite and a hint of spice that made me do one of those head-bobbing dances that old people do at weddings. As for the service, it was like a well-oiled machine. The staff was always there when you needed them, but not so much that you felt like they were hovering. I might have even seen one of them wink at me, but that might have been the baked beans talking. Overall, 1911 Smokehouse Barbecue is a culinary diamond in the rough. It's a place where you can get your ribs on, dance your heart out, and eat baked beans that will make you forget all your problems. Just be prepared to share your personal space with strangers because this place is cozy as a bear's den. But hey, who needs space when you've got delicious food? Hola, amigos. Let me tell you about Miespa Robbinsville, the Spanish street food paradise where the flavors will make you do a flamenco. Picture this, a tiny space that's so cramped, you could feel the garlic breath of the person next to you. But hey, who needs personal space when the food is divine? The menu is like a Spanish soap opera full of twists, turns, and delicious surprises. From empanadas to croquetas, every dish is a fiesta in your mouth. And let's not forget about the meatballs. They're so tender, they'll make you forget about your ex-lover's sweet nothings. But let's talk about the real star of the show, the paella. It's a glorious symphony of seafood and rice, served in a giant bowl that could feed an entire village. And because Miespa is BYOB, you can bring your own vino and make it a proper party. Just a heads up, the ambience is about as warm as a January wind. Half the diners will be shivering like Eskimos, so bring a blanket and some hot chocolate. Overall, Miespa Robbinsville is a gem. The food is exceptional, the BYOB policy is a blessing, and the cozy atmosphere will remind you of a Spanish grandma's kitchen. Just be prepared for a delightful sensory overload and a sweater tan. Oh, Enzo's La Piccola Cucina, where the food is so fresh, it's like eating a salad that's still in the garden. Okay, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but Enzo's is serious about using fresh, seasonal ingredients. And it shows in every dish. Now, I know what you're thinking, fresh ingredients. That sounds expensive. Well, it's not as bad as you might think. Enzo's prices are very reasonable, especially considering the quality of the food. But let's talk about the ambience. Enzo's is like the Italian version of Cheers. Everyone knows your name, and they're always glad to see you. The service is impeccable, and the staff is so friendly, you'll feel like you're dining with family. Now, about the food. I could go on for hours about how delicious everything is, but I'll just give you a few highlights. The truffle fries are to die for. They're crispy on the outside, fluffy on the inside, and have just the right amount of truffle flavor. The artichoke francese is also a must-try. The artichokes are tender and flavorful, and the sauce is rich and creamy. And the pork shank. Oh my god, the pork shank. It's braised for hours until it's full off the bone tender. And the gravy is so good you could drink it with a straw. So if you're looking for a great Italian meal in a warm and friendly atmosphere, Enzo's La Piccola Cucina is the place for you. Just be sure to bring your appetite, because you're going to want to try everything on the menu. Trenton's hidden gem, where the goulash sings and the strudel dances. Picture this, a time warp to the old world, tucked away in the heart of Trenton. Here, at Blue Danube Restaurant, you'll find yourself at a culinary crossroads where Hungarian dreams and European flavors collide. Step inside and prepare to be transported. The ambience is a nostalgic blend of yesteryear's charm and modern-day comfort. Picture cozy booths, soft lighting, and waiters who somehow manage to channel both efficiency and a touch of misplaced British reserve. But let's get down to the real deal, the food. My dear fellow Epicureans, prepare your taste buds for an adventure. The Sauerbraten, my friends, is like a meaty symphony. It's slow-cooked to perfection, melting in your mouth like a politician's promise. But if it's liquid gold you seek, look no further than the Hungarian beef goulash. It's served in a bowl big enough to feed a small village, and every sip is a revelation. The broth is rich and savory, the meat tender and juicy. I'm not sure if it's the secret Hungarian spices or the tears of defeated Ottoman invaders, but it's pure culinary bliss. And for those who like their meals with a side of history, the peerages are a must-try. These little pockets of Eastern European joy are filled with a variety of delights, from cheese to meat to potatoes. They're the culinary equivalent of a Russian nesting doll, with each layer revealing a new surprise. But if there's one dish that deserves a standing ovation, it's the potato soup with tomato. Imagine a thick, hearty stew that's somehow both comforting and exhilarating. It's like your favorite childhood blanket wrapped in a shot of espresso. And let's not forget the dessert. The apple strudel is a flaky, sugary masterpiece that will make you question the meaning of life. It's served with a dollop of whipped cream that's so light and fluffy, you'll swear it was made from the clouds themselves. Now, a word about the portions. They're not just generous, they're downright gargantuan. You could probably feed a family of 4 on a single main dish, and still have leftovers for the army. But that's all part of the charm. Leave Blue Danube Restaurant with a full belly and a happy heart. So whether you're a Trenton local looking for a taste of the old world or a culinary adventure from afar, make your way to Blue Danube Restaurant. It's a place where the food sings, the ambience dances, and the portions challenge the laws of physics. And if you happen to see me there, lost in a haze of goulash-induced euphoria, don't be afraid to say hello. I'll be the one with the permanent smile etched into my face. Picture this, you're in Trenton, famished, and craving comfort food. Enter Flavor of Poland, a culinary oasis where your taste buds will do a polka. The place is fancy, but don't let that fool you. The staff are as friendly as a Polish grandma giving you unwanted hugs. And the food. Oh, the food. It's like a symphony for your tummy, conducted by a Michelin-starred chef who just happens to have a heavy Eastern European accent. The borscht and pickle soup will make you forget all your troubles and possibly give you superpowers. The goulash and potato pancakes will make your soul sing like a choir of angels, or at least a very well-fed choir. And the pierogi, well, let's just say they're the best thing since sliced bread. and that was invented in Poland, so you know it's good. Some folks might find the decor a bit over the top, but who cares? You're there for the food, not to critique the wallpaper. Plus, the background music is a hilarious mix of Polish folk songs and Numa talk about an East meets West culinary adventure. And don't worry about being too stuffed to finish everything. You can always take your pierogi home and devour them in the privacy of your own bathroom, where no one will judge you for humming the Polish national anthem while you do. So, if you're in Trenton and looking for a good belly laugh and an even better meal, head to Flavor of Poland. Just don't blame me if you end up with a permanent food baby that speaks fluent Polish. Yo, I hit up Culinary's public house in Trenton, and let me tell you, it's like a comedy club where the food is the star. The atmosphere has got that Irish charm, like you're walking into a scene from a Leprechaun movie. The staff, they're the funniest servers you've ever met, except they're not joking, they're just naturally hilarious. Now, let's talk sustenance. They've got this Irish breakfast that'll make you think you're fighting off the British in a field. The Bloody Marys. Man, they'll cure any hangover and then give you a new hangover that's even funnier. But hold up, don't sleep on their other grub. Their blackened salmon pasta hits different, like a dance party in your mouth. And their French onion soup. It's so good, you'll forget about your problems and just stare at the bowl like it's a fireplace. The night I was there, they had this live music that sounded like they were channeling the ghost of Snoop Dogg. It had the whole place lit and the laughter flowing. Overall, Culinary's public house is like a stand-up comedy routine that's also a restaurant. So come for the laughs, stay for the deliciousness, and don't be surprised if you leave with a belly full of food and a head full of jokes. Ahoy there, me hearties. Gather round and I'll spin ye a tale of Rat's Restaurant, a shanty where landlubbers and sea dogs alike can feast their weary bones. This here Rats is a sight to behold, me lads and lasses. It be like a castle from the age of yore, with its grand staircase and lofty ceilings. Even the garden be a treasure chest filled with flowers and trinkets that'll make your heart sing. Now, let's talk about the grub. Ora, 'tis a feast fit for a king. The menu be like a treasure map, with dishes so tantalizing they'll make your mouth water like a bilge pump. From the succulent shrimp sauced with chorizo to the braised short rib that melts in your mouth, every bite be a symphony of flavors. But hold fast, me hearty, for there be a wee bit of a flaw in this paradise. The service, ye see, be a bit like a drunken sailor on a stormy sea. Sometimes they be quick as a flash, and other times they be slower than a turtle trying to haul itself out of the bilge. But fret not, me mateys, it's all part of the adventure. One night, me and me crewmates were waiting for our grub like a bunch of scurvy dogs. Just when we be about to mutiny, the manager himself came out and begged for our forgiveness, promising us free rum to make amends. Well, me hearties, we couldn't let a scurvy dog spurn our rum, could we? So there ye have it, Rat's Restaurant. A place where the grub be grand, the atmosphere be magical, and the service be a wee bit unpredictable. But hey, who needs a smooth sail when ye can have a rollicking adventure instead? Just remember to bring a bottle of rum in case the service be a bit on the slow side. Yo, Trenton homies. This ain't your average strip mall joint. La Parilla Steakhouse is like the Spice Girl ginger feisty, a little edgy, and bound to fill your tummy with some serious spice. I'm not gonna lie, the neighborhood might have you clutching your purse a little tighter, but fear not, my friends. This Guatemalan gem is worth venturing into the unknown. Picture this, you walk in and it's like stepping into a telenovela. The family vibes are strong, and the aroma of sizzling meat is enough to make your taste buds break out in a salsa dance. Now, let's talk about the food. Oh, mamma mia! The steak is so tender, it'll make your jaw drop like a toddler discovering tic-tic. The chicken is seasoned to perfection, and the plantains. Let's just say, they'll make your booty shake like Shakira. But let me drop some culinary truth bombs. The guayo burger is a work of art. It's like a spicy love letter to America, featuring a juicy burger topped with lettuce, onion, and enough potato chips to fuel a small army. And don't even get me started on the horchata. It's so refreshing, it'll make you forget about those pesky traffic tickets. Oh, and did I mention the prices? They're so low, you'll think you're robbing a bank. For under 12, you can feast like a king and still have enough left over for a night out at the local karaoke bar. Trust me, you'll need it after all that spice. So, Trenton folks, if you're looking for a gut-busting, flavor-packed dining experience, head over to La Parola Steakhouse. Just be sure to bring your appetite and your A game, because this place will definitely give you a run for your pesos. Angelo's Trattoria, where the food is amazing and the bugs are free. If you're looking for a restaurant that's like a good Italian joke, Angelo's Trattoria is the place for you. The food is so good, you'll be laughing all the way to the bathroom. And speaking of bathrooms, make sure you bring your bug spray, because the gnats there are so thick, they'll make you wonder if you're in a mosquito's living room. But hey, don't let the bugs bug you, pun intended. The food is seriously amazing. They've got everything from homemade pasta to chicken cutlets that are so tender, they'll make you forget about your diet. And the sauces. Forget about it. They're so flavorful, you'll want to take a bath in them. The service is a little bit like a stand-up comedian. Sometimes it's hilarious, sometimes it's a little awkward. But hey, at least they're trying. And if you're lucky, you might even get a free mosquito repellent wipe. Overall, Angelo's Trattoria is a great place to go for a good laugh and some seriously delicious food. Just be sure to bring your bug spray. P.S. The prices are a little bit high, but it's worth it for the entertainment value. I mean, where else can you get a side of mosquitoes with your meal? Terracotta ramen, the ramen that will make you cry with joy or spice. Prepare yourself for a culinary adventure that will leave your taste buds singing and your stomach begging for more at Terracotta Ramen. This ramen haven has become the talk of the town, and for good reason. Let me break it down for you, Joan Rivers style. Ambience. As you step into the vibrant space, you're greeted by walls adorned with art that would make a modern art museum jealous. It's like eating ramen while trapped inside a fever dream, but in a good way. Service. The staff at Terracotta is the epitome of fast and friendly. They'll seat you at lightning speed and have your food out before you can say ramen-tastic. Pro tip. If you don't have a designated driver, this place is BYOB, so bring your libations of choice. Ramen. Now, let's talk about the main event, the ramen. Oh my word, it's like a symphony of flavors dancing on your tongue. Their signature Terracotta ramen is a masterpiece, with a broth so rich you'll want to bathe in it, but please don't. And those spicy ramen options. They'll make you sweat and cry tears of joy. Other delights, oh, but there's more. The tempura is crispy and light, the dumplings are plump and juicy, and the Karaage chicken is hot and spicy enough to give you a cowabunga moment. Trust me, you'll want to order everything on the menu. And if you have room for dessert, the mochi is a sweet and chewy treat that will make you forget all your troubles, for a few minutes, at least. Conclusion. Terracotta Ramen is not just a restaurant, it's an experience. It's the kind of place where you'll end up writing glowing reviews that sound like they're straight out of an infomercial. But hey, if the ramen is this good, can you really blame me? So gather your ramen-loving comrades, bring a bottle or two, and prepare for an evening of culinary bliss at Terracotta Ramen. Just don't say I didn't warn you about the spicy noodles. They pack a punch, baby. Well, darlings, let's dish about the blooming Grove Inn, shall we? Imagine if Little House on the Prairie met Downton Abbey and had a love child. That's the vibe. Nestled among trees, it's like a cozy retreat where you can forget the world outside until you step inside. The atmosphere is warm and inviting, like a mug of hot cocoa on a cold night if the cocoa had a hint of sulfur from that mysterious fireplace. It's so charming, it's almost quaint. Now, let's talk food. The menu is like a love letter to your taste buds. From succulent seafood to perfectly cooked steaks, every dish is a masterpiece if the masterpiece had a few smudges and the canvas was slightly crooked. Their wine list is also impressive, with selections from all over the globe. Imagine a sommelier with a flamboyant mustache and a propensity for recommending wines that sound like they're from a Shakespearean sonnet. But what truly makes Blooming Grove Inn shine is the service. Or, should I say, the service. It's like a game of guess who's going to come to our table next. The staff is friendly, sure, but they're also like a game of musical chairs, with servers and bussers swirling around you like a whirlwind of aprons and smiles. One reviewer complained about being sat at a table for 6 when they were a party of 4. My dares, this is like being offered a stretch limousine when you're only going to the grocery store. Embrace the extra space. And if the noise level is high, well, just think of it as a symphony of delighted diners. Oh, and those appetizers are fiery, the perfect size for a midnight snack, unless you're a hobbit with a hearty appetite. The bacon-wrapped scallops were a bit like a culinary love triangle. The bacon was dark and mysterious, the scallop was a timid wallflower, and the wrap was a flimsy attempt at holding it all together. Overall, Blooming Grove Inn is a delightful experience, like a slightly eccentric aunt who has a penchant for wearing pearls with her gardening gloves. It's not perfect, but it's full of charm, and you'll leave with a smile on your face and a story to tell. Just don't expect your secrets to be kept in that private room. It's more like a confessional where the walls have ears and the heater whispers your every word. I normally stick to sushi and sashimi, but when I heard about N.J. Weidman's joint, I was, well, let's just say intrigued. Let me tell you, this place is a hidden gem. It's not the most sophisticated spot in Trenton, but who needs sophistication when you have incredible food? The staff are like a bunch of stoners straight out of a Cheech and Chong movie. They're friendly, laid back, and always ready with a joke. One dude even offered me a hit from his blunt, but I politely declined. Now, the food. I ordered the Weidman wings and they were simply spectacular. They're not actually made with weed, but they're so good, you'll swear they're infused. The sauce is a unique blend of barbecue and something else I can't quite put my finger on. I'm not sure if it's paranoia or just the munchies, but it's delicious. The fries were also top-notch. They're crinkled and crispy, like the perfect fry should be. I swear, they must use some kind of space-age potato technology. Now, about that unprofessional part, well, let's just say the staff isn't exactly the sharpest bunch. They forgot my drink order 3 times, but it didn't really matter. I was too busy enjoying my food and marveling at the stonerific atmosphere. So, if you're a fan of great food, good times, and a staff that's so high they couldn't find their own noses, then N.J. Weidman's joint is the place for you. Just don't expect silver service or a Michelin star. Ravello by Toscano, where you'll ravel about the food. Picture this. You're craving the best of the best, and somehow you stumble upon this hidden gem in a strip mall. The sign is so bright, you'll need sunglasses, and the ambience inside is cozy as a hug from your grandma but with less drool. The staff treats you like royalty, even if you're just there to scarf down their life-changing sourdough bread. It's like a party in your mouth, with olive oil, spices, and cheese dancing the horror. And the bread isn't just a warm-up act. It's a foreshadowing of the culinary explosion that's about to hit your taste buds. Let's talk appetizers, shall we? Tuna nachos that will make you forget about your love for chips and salsa, and duck mac cheese that's so creamy and indulgent, you'll wonder if you've died and gone to carb heaven. The mac cheese even comes with a fried tomato on top, adding a touch of crunch and making it look like a work of art. For the main event, you're in for a treat. Spaghetti that will make you rethink your relationship with pasta, and a prime NY strip topped with lobster that looks like it was flown in from Maine in a tuxedo. The scallops are seared to perfection and paired with artichokes, making you wonder why you've never tried this combo before. And let's not forget about dessert. Brownies and cannoli cream meet in a harmonious marriage, and the salted caramel ice cream makes you want to slap your forehead for not discovering it sooner. The prices are so reasonable, it's like the restaurant is playing a cruel joke on you. And the portions are huge, so you'll have plenty of leftovers for your midnight snack attack. If you live within a 45-minute radius, you owe it to your stomach to visit Ravello by Toscano. And if you don't, well, pack your bags. It's worth the road trip. Just don't blame us when your GPS takes you to the wrong strip mall and you end up eating a hot dog at the gas station next door. Chicken House, where flavor explodes and decor implodes. Step into Chicken House, Trenton's culinary time capsule, where the ambience is as vintage as the Golden Girls. The exterior sign is so faded, it's like they're playing a game of Guess the Restaurant. Inside, it's like Nora Desmond reincarnated as a Chinese restaurant, with decor that makes you wonder if they're trying to outdo a thrift store. But let's talk about the food, the reason you're not here for the ambience or the cleanliness. The double-cooked pork and chicken in garlic sauce is a symphony of flavor, even if spicy is more like mildly exciting. The scallion pancakes are like crispy clouds, but beware, they might leave a slick on your shirt. The wonton and egg drop soups are solid starters, but the real stars are the beef in brown sauce and shrimp in black bean sauce. They're not just dishes, they're works of art. The veggies are fresh, the sauces are bursting with flavor, and you'll be licking your plate clean. Pro tip: if you want your dish without the extra taste of dirt, maybe ask your waiter nicely. They might do you a solid and make it fresh, just like you ordered it. And hey, it's BYOB, so you can wash down that salty goodness with your own poison of choice. Overall, Chicken House is a culinary masterpiece if you can get past the decor and lack of hygiene. It's like the Chinese version of a haunted house. The food is amazing, but you might leave feeling a little spooked. Just remember, the flavor is worth the fright. Enjoy. Crave Nature's Eatery, where health and humor collide. Crave Nature's Eatery is like that one friend who's always trying to feed you veggies in a playful way. The kind of place where you can get a grain bowl with quinoa that tastes like a party in your mouth, a healthy party, of course. Imagine a cafe with the vibe of a chic grandmother's living room, all cozy and inviting. You'll be greeted by a staff that makes you feel like you're visiting their vegan-friendly abode. As for the food, it's like a playground for your taste buds. They've got customizable bowls that let you be the master of your destiny, or at least your lunch. Their smoothies are like a liquid version of a spa day for your insides. And don't get us started on their baked goods, are fiery so gluten-free, they could probably pass as air. Plus, there's a hilarious hidden gem in Crave's kitchen, a window into their culinary playground. It's like you're watching a cooking show, but with real chefs who don't break out into spontaneous dance numbers unless you count the occasional veggie shuffle. So, if you're looking for a place where you can eat healthy without sacrificing flavor, Crave Nature's Eatery is your go-to spot. Just be sure to bring your stretchy pants off, food is that good. Highly recommend the make your own bowl with extra quinoa, because who can resist a bowl that's just begging to be Instagrammed? El Gallo Tropical, where the food's so good you'll forget it's a dive. If you're looking for a fancy night out, keep driving. But if you're down for some authentic Mexican goodness in a hole-in-the-wall setting, El Gallo Tropical is your spot. Picture this: you walk in and it's like being teleported to a roadside taqueria in Mexico. It's blasting telenovelas, the waitresses are bundled up like it's the North Pole, and the fridge is stocked with every Mexican soda you can think of. Now let's talk about the food. It's like a culinary symphony orchestra, with every ingredient hitting just the right note. The al pastor pork and pineapple is a match made in heaven, so tender and flavorful you'll wonder why you ever ate anything else. And their sopas, a cross between a taco and a party in your mouth. But here's the kicker: presentation is not their strong suit. By the time I got my food home, it looked like a disaster zone. But hey, when it tastes this good, who cares? And let's not forget the flan. It's like a jello textured dream, with a caramel sauce that'll make you question your life choices. You'll crave it long after you've finished it, like a forbidden love affair. Now a word of warning: if you're one of those heat seekers who needs their food to set your tongue on fire, El Gallo Tropical might not be your Spice Eden. Their salsas are more mild than a summer breeze, but don't fret, they'll hook you up with some habanero sauce if you ask nicely. Oh, and parking can be a bit of a comedy show, but hey, that only adds to the experience. Plus, there's a convenient 7-Eleven across the street, so you can grab a big gulp to wash down all that deliciousness. So if you're ready for a culinary adventure that's as authentic and unpretentious as it gets, El Gallo Tropical is calling your name. Just don't blame me if you end up crawling out the door with a satisfied grin and a belly full of Mexican magic.